What is up, you guys? In today's video, I want to walk you through a day in the life of a woodworking business owner. Let's dive in. Well, as always, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm so glad that you're choosing to hang out with me today. And today's going to be a fun video. I want to walk you through a day in the life of a woodworking business owner. I want to give you a couple different scenarios of what life could look like as a woodworking business owner. And so one of the main things that I want to just help you with on your journey is as you start your business, you need to know something. There's a quote that I want to read to you that I want you to ingrain in your mind, okay? Here's that quote. If you don't create systems, you become the system. Okay, if you don't create systems, you become the system. So what does that mean? First of all, we need to identify what are systems. Systems are a means to accomplish things, right? Systems are a process that allows you to accomplish tasks in an efficient and an effective way. Okay, so if you don't have systems in your business, immediately you're going to become and be the system for getting things done. And so as you start your woodworking business and you're trying to get your feet wet, you're trying to figure out where do I need to spend my time, there's also two other thoughts that I want to bring to your attention. You're either going to be working in your business or you're going to be working on your business. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see woodworking business owners make is that they choose to spend all of their time working in their business. A book that changed the way that I view business was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And he talks about there's 4 different levels of business and entrepreneurial growth. Number 1 is you're a W-2 employee. You work for somebody else. Number 2 is that you are self-employed, which means that you don't work for somebody else, but you are doing all the work. Number 3 is that you are a business owner. And number 4 is that you are an investor. Now, as a W-2 employee, somebody else is determining what you do and when you do it. You have a boss, you have a manager, you have somebody that's influencing your time and your schedule. Then you move out of that and say, well, I don't want to do that. I want to go do my own thing. Well, now I'm self-employed. Well, self-employed people actually just create a job for themselves. They're not necessarily moving into higher leverage forms of ownership. They aren't underneath somebody else anymore, but they've actually just created another job, which means that they have to get up, they have to work, and if they don't work, money doesn't get made. If you're not out in the shop working on stuff, then stuff isn't getting done out in the shop, okay? Then you have business owner. Now, as you move from self-employed to business owner, you start implementing systems and leverage, right? So as you start implementing systems and leverage, AKA employees, contractors, people that are helping you accomplish the tasks that are necessary to accomplish in the business to make money, you're not the only one responsible for everything that gets done. And this is where you can actually start to get some of your time back and work more on the business instead of in the business. Lastly is an investor, which is where you're maybe like a silent partner or a silent owner that actually doesn't do any of the work, but you get to reap the benefits or the rewards, aka the profits of the business. All right, woodworkers, I've got a challenge for you. It's called the 5K in 30-Day Challenge. Join the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, follow exactly what we teach you to do, implement the systems, the processes, the sales scripts, and if you close $5,000 in new custom furniture sales in your first 30 days, we're gonna give you your program fee back. That's right. You will have literally built a business growth system for free. So why would I do this? Well, because I would rather actually put my money where my mouth is and win only if you win than just asking you that you should just simply trust me. So if you're ready to build a business that funds your life and not just your hobby, this is your chance to build it without any risk. Check it out, link in the description below. With that, let's get back to the video. Now, as we talk about a day in the life of a woodworking business owner, there are so many things that have to get accomplished in a woodworking business. Number 1, you have to build the product. Number 2, you have to communicate with customers. Number 3, you need to be marketing and selling in some regard. Number 4, you need to be meeting with customers. Number 5, you got to keep the books. You got to keep the financials up to date. Number 6, you got to be active on social media or try to be posting in Facebook groups or Facebook Marketplace. There's so many things that you could be spending your time and energy on. So one of the things that I want to walk you through is kind of the natural progression of what you should be spending your time on. As you start, and you're the only one in your woodworking business, you're going to have to spend more time in the business than on the business. What do I mean by that? Well, you probably need to spend about 80% of your time getting things done. Okay, so if you don't have a part-time employee or another full-time employee that's helping you in the shop, you need to be driving profits forward by getting things done in the shop. Also, you need to be responding to incoming inquiries, incoming leads. You need to be very proactive from a sales standpoint, right? Now, the other 20%, you need to be working on the business so that you don't have to stay self-employed, trapped in the day-to-day operations of the business for the rest of your life, or the rest of your career, or the rest of your woodworking business. If you work on the business, you can build something big enough to where you can start adding help along the way, which is where you get a lot of your freedom back, which is where you get a lot of your time back, and you can breathe, right? So if you're a woodworking business and you are stressed out, this is what I want to encourage you with, is start working on getting some time back and working on the business. Now, as your woodworking business begins to grow, and let's say that you do get to hire an employee and you do get some of your time back, you need to take any additional time that you have to continue to work on the business, meaning that you are growing a system of driving results. So what is driving results? Getting sales and getting stuff out the door. In its most simplistic, most basic form, that's what we're trying to accomplish every single day inside of your woodworking business. Is I need to try to talk to leads, get sales, collect deposits, and also get things out the door so I can collect second half payments. That's going to keep cash flowing into the business and keep the business healthy, right? Without cash, businesses have no oxygen, they die, right? So that's super, super, super important. If you create systems for your business, right? So we have a process for getting leads. We have a process for converting leads into closed deals. We have a process for getting closed deals into the project queue, and then a process to get to it. And then we have a process for getting things done efficiently, right? We have a process for following up. We have a process for getting reviews. We have a process for collecting media, photography and videography for every project that we complete. If you create processes, then you can plug other people into those processes or make it very easy for you to plug yourself into those processes, right? And so if you create systems and processes, then your job becomes to monitor them and improve them over time. A lot of times people think, well, I created a process that's going to be perfect forever. It's not. You need to continually improve it and change it as your business grows and adapts. Most woodworking business owners spend their time just running around, putting out fires, or just solving the most urgent problem of the day, right? That's how most woodworkers operate their business, but not you. What you're going to do is you're going to set aside time to work in the business and set aside time to work on the business and get structured, get disciplined so that you can follow the process that's necessary for business growth. If that's your goal, right? If you're trying to grow your woodworking business, you don't need to stay in the weeds all the time. Now, it's necessary for you to be in the weeds sometimes and maybe even most of the time, but you have to get out of there to work on the business. And so one of the best things that I can help you with is that you need to learn how to be proactive instead of reactive. So proactive to planning instead of reactive to problems. Proactive to customer communication instead of reactive to upset customers. Typically what happens is when we fail to be proactive, we're forced to be reactive. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. You want to be proactive. Just to wrap this video up, I want to encourage you, if you have a fresh, young, brand new baby woodworking business, you're going to need to spend probably 80% of your time working in the business, getting things done, talking to customers, closing sales, getting things out the door, keeping the books. You're going to be doing all of it, right? Well, you're going to get burnt out. Like if you stay there forever, it's going to wear you out. You've got to be able to move beyond that to the point that you can spend more of your time working on the business. Ideally, at the peak of your business growth, you should be really working on the business, not in the business, 80% of the time. You should be working on strategy. You should be working on the high-level systems that run the business. And if you're looking for help with that, be sure to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. I've talked about it. If you watch this channel consistently, you know about this program. I want to encourage you to check that out, where we help implement the same systems that ran my $75,000 per month woodworking business into your business and help you grow into those systems. With that, I got a couple other resources below. Number one is my completely free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. It's free to you. Doesn't cost you anything. Check that out in the first link in the description below. And then the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. If you have any other questions, be sure to let us know in the comments below. If you haven't liked and subscribed yet, what are you doing with your life? Be sure to do that as well. And we'll see you guys in the next video.